Number 1. Bloody Mary. Few things united schoolchildren more than the shared fear of summoning Bloody Mary in the bathroom mirror. The rules were always a little different depending on who told you the story. Say her name 3 times, 5 times, in the dark, with or without candles, but the result was always the same. She'd appear and do something terrifying. Some versions said she'd scratch your eyes out. Others claimed she'd drag you into the mirror world. Either way, it was enough to make kids avoid mirrors entirely after sunset. But here's the reality. Bloody Mary is folklore, an urban legend passed down for generations. The ritual likely originated as a psychological experiment disguised as a playground dare. Staring into a dimly lit mirror for a long time can actually cause visual hallucinations. Your brain gets confused and starts distorting your reflection, and sometimes turning it into something monstrous. That's a real, documented phenomenon called the strange face illusion. It's not a demon or ghost, it's just your brain trying to make sense of low light and staring too long. As for the origin of the name, there are theories. Some tie it to Queen Mary of England, also known as Bloody Mary, for her persecution of Protestants. Others say it's just an entirely made-up ghost story, like a campfire tale adapted for bathrooms. Number 2. The Bermuda Triangle. Every kid growing up in the 90s or early 2000s thought the Bermuda Triangle was going to be a much bigger problem in life. This mysterious region in the North Atlantic, roughly forming a triangle between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, was blamed for ships vanishing and planes falling from the skies. Is it a portal? Is it haunted? Or do aliens kidnap ships in the area? The mystery was endless. In reality, the Bermuda Triangle is just heavily trafficked, which means statistically more accidents happen there just because more people are passing through. Most of the mystery disappearances can be explained by storms, bad navigation, or in some cases just poor reporting. The so-called supernatural angle was mostly created by authors trying to sell books and newspapers, trying to grab attention. The more dramatic the story, the better it sold. The US government and the US Coast Guard don't even recognize the Bermuda Triangle as a real hazard. So despite what your 10-year-old brain thought, the Bermuda Triangle isn't out there pulling planes from the sky. Number 3. Quicksand will kill you. Quicksand was one of those things that movies made look like a real daily danger. One wrong step and boom, you're slowly sinking to your doom, waving goodbye while dramatically reaching for help. As kids, this was terrifying. It felt like quicksand was everywhere, waiting on hiking trails, lurking in sandboxes, hiding behind the corner. At one point, we were more worried about quicksand than school. The truth? Quicksand exists, but it's not nearly as deadly, or as common as we thought. It's just a mix of water and fine sand or silt that becomes unstable when disturbed. In the majority of cases, if you step into it, you might sink in a little bit, but you're not going under like in the movies. You float before you ever sank all the way. And getting out? It's slow, awkward, and uncomfortable, but not impossible. Moving gently and spreading out your weight can help you escape. In real life, you're more likely to sprain your ankle on a hiking trail than get swallowed by nature's sandy trapdoor. Number 4. Accidentally seeing a scary image. One second you're fine, and the next you've locked eyes with something horrifying. Maybe a ghostly face, some creature straight from a nightmare, or that one still frame from a horror movie your older cousin said you had to see. And just like that, the fear sets in. Not normal fear, but kid logic fear. The kind that tells you this image has now imprinted itself onto your soul, and that you're going to be haunted, stalked, or slowly transformed into whatever that thing was. Every dark room becomes suspicious. You try to forget it, but your brain decides to replay it in full HD every night. Even if someone told you it was fake, your brain didn't care. The fear wasn't rational, it was personal. The truth, it was just a picture. But as a kid, that was all it took to believe you were haunted forever. Number 5. The basement. Even in a well-lit house with zero actual danger, the basement had a vibe. That thick silence, the concrete walls, the furnace making random noises like it was clearing its throat. No matter what your parents said, no part of you believed the basement was safe. It didn't matter what was down there, laundry, tools, some old furniture. It all looked suspicious. You'd go down for one thing and suddenly forget why you were there. And then comes the worst part, the stairs. You'd start walking up calmly, and then halfway through, panic would hit. You'd speed up, then sprint, because obviously if you didn't reach the top in time, some shapeless horror would pull you back into the darkness. This fear wasn't even based on a movie most of the time. It just existed. You never actually saw anything scary down there, But that didn't matter. The basement just felt haunted by default. Looking back, it was just an unfinished room. But back then, it was the closest thing you had to a portal to the underworld. Number 6. The monster under your bed. For some reason, the moment the lights went off, your bedroom transformed into a horror movie set. The same closet that held your jackets and shoes during the day, at night it became a dark door to a dimension full of growling things with glowing eyes. And then there was under the bed. Logically, you knew nothing could fit under there, except maybe a box of Lego and that one missing sock. But kid logic doesn't care about measurements. In your mind, there was definitely room for something. Something that only moved when you blinked or dared to dangle a foot over the edge. This fear wasn't about specific monsters. Even shadows became scary shapes. And you stayed as still as possible because movement might attract it. The funny thing is, even as adults, some of us still hesitate for a split second before letting a hand hang over the bed at night. Not because we believe in monsters, but because we remember all the things we used to be afraid of. Thanks for watching. See the video on your screen? Well, YouTube thinks this one might interest you as well, so go ahead and check it out if you like.